Namaste. This is the third series of yoga sessions during the coronavirus period of our isolation. And I have attempted today to try and start some yoga for you and this particular recording outside in our beautiful garden. But unfortunately, the equipment that I have is not professional enough to be able to cope with the variation that goes on with the natural environment. So I've had to move into my yoga studio with a blank wall, but I do at least have my beautiful seated Buddha sharing the energy with me, and of course Margaret Watt's beautiful tie-dyed scarf that she gave me many years ago. Thank you, Margaret. So the sessions today are going to be about yoga nidra. I'm going to just briefly give you a bit of theory and practical components of it on video, and then the second one is purely audio, where you will be experiencing the process. So welcome to the third series. Yoga nidra, like relaxation, is a very important practice in yoga to calm the body and the mind, get a sense of focus awareness, and bring the mind in particular into a meditative state so that you can start to process in an objective sense information that has been sitting with you for some time and that you may need to let go of, and so that you can move along your yogic path. Also, like relaxation, it's because it calms and stills the body and the mind and is linked through the breath. The parasympathetic nervous system is stimulated, and the heart rate slows down, blood pressure can drop slightly, and the body temperature can also fall. So you might get a little bit cold in the practice, and it's advisable to have a blanket on or around you or near you. The other part that is similar to relaxation is that it is practice in savasana. That's lying on your back, on the floor or on a mat. If you can't lie on the floor on a mat, you could do this on a well-supported bed. You may want to have some support for your head. The aim is to get the back into a neutral, the spine into a neutral position. And because we're there for 30 minutes, I highly recommend that you put something under the knees to release tension in the lower back. And you can do this with a bolster, or you could roll up a blanket that you've got and place that under your knees. Maybe another camping mat, same thing, you could put under your knees. A nice soft pillow under the head so the neck is in a neutral position, and then a nice soft blanket. This is the recycled Eco Fleece that I have, that you can put over your body. So that's our starting point. On a practical component, the actual practice has 6 parts. The first part is preparing the body for body awareness, the mind for body awareness. The second is setting up a resolve, an intention, what we call a sankalpa in yoga. And resolves, intentions, sankalpas must be couched in positive terms, because we want to have a positive change within us, not a negative one. Remember, we need to say 6 positive things to overcome a negative component. So, positive affirmation, and the theme is seeing good, seeing the goodness in things. So you couch it in whatever way, in a short positive sentence, and you will repeat that 3 times to yourself. The second component is conscious awareness of rotation through the body. We're going to do it twice. You can do it up to 3 times. You might even be able to cut it back to 1 if you can bring yourself into a very still and calm state when you do it once. The fourth component, is a breathing practice where we go through different parts of lung and throat and nostril, counting the breath. We're going to count backwards from 11. You, as you go on, may like to count backwards from 27 or go up to 54. That will make it a much longer practice. It's up to you the time that you have to do it in, but don't cut out any component. The last component is image visualization, and I'm going to give you a range of images. I'm going to repeat them 3 times and move on to another one. Finally, after a period of silence, you repeat your resolve, and then we close the session. So that's the practical component of it. Now, the last consideration is an integral part of both relaxation and yoga nidra is sense withdrawal. So we don't want to be getting information in from our arms or our legs. They've got to be away from the body. We don't want to start hearing being taken through oral or auditory stimuli away somewhere else. And when the body is not ready, if it's physically not ready, you'll find it very difficult to get into relaxation. And the same thing will happen with yoga nidra. So if your body is not ready, you then go back to the practices that I've already given you, which aren't very long, the Pawamuktasana, components of those, or maybe some of the breathing and arm movements we did in the first session, or you may simply want to go for a walk. So it's up to you to prepare yourself before you come down into that seated position to practice our yoga nidra. And to complete the session, and I'll also have this in our written component, I'd like to read some words from our Swami Sivananda, who brought Yoga Nidra to the West, and it really emphasises the importance of a positive sankalpa and an importance of the positive attitude to life. So, the quote, "Our thoughts mould our destiny. Sow a thought and reap an action. Sow an action and reap a habit. Sow a habit and reap a character. Sow a character and reap a destiny." So if we sow the thought of seeing the good, it then will turn into us being able to have good within us and good actions. It will become part of us, deeply set within us, and help us on our yogic journey. So enjoy the yoga nidra and keep safe. Namaste.